Yes, are we there yet? The stream has started. Okay. So today I'm going to finish the push constant stuff. Which means that I have to write a code that generates the declaration in the GLSL shader for any push constants that I define in my C++ code. That's where I wanted to go. Okay, we have here my push constant, which currently has a single element. Maybe not the best thing to test, so let's add a random thing in front of it. Let's say vec3 unused. Then I have to add that here as well. So now we have two members. Now the encoding of, the declaration in GLSL will look something like this, right? Both members have to be present. And that information is gotten from this construct. Which results in a auto type, which will be a standard tuple of two types. First type describing this one and second type describing that one. And I'm only going to be able to access that in a template, obviously, because it is a very complex type, which propagates well through templates, but no further. And that will be something with access to layouts. So let's try to find that. Grab project sources, something layouts. And it's going to use that as a template, I think. Or not, let me think. No, I don't know. Huh. So bad. Yeah, not. So it ends on, well, actually. It's not what I was looking for. Maybe it's a dot layout. Nope. Okay, that's really weird. Here it is, I think. New. I think this is the one that I was after, which is double column layouts. Didn't I just look for that here? And then it did show up right there. I just overlooked it. Okay, so here we have add push constant. Right, finally. So somewhere I'm calling add push constant with the correct type, and then here is the access to the layouts, which then is going to call add push constant member for each of the types in the standard tuple. That is the type of layout. So I might as well jump to add push constant, which is defined here. And then I have no more access to that type. So I have to convert this from this type, all the information from this type, to something that is accessible during runtime, something more dynamic. And currently I'm only storing, what am I storing here? I'm storing res first second, pointer 2. I think that's a pointer to the shader variable. So push constant is not this one, but this one is derived from shader variable. And that is being stored here in this container, mdls id string 2 push constant, which is a map. This container is defined here as a map. Whoops, what did I just do? Damn it, what is this? Pim session. Oh, I'm here. Excusez-moi, yeah. Opened a new tab. Didn't even know that was possible with the keyboard. I meant Control T. Go back here, and then we have, yeah, we have it in this map, and then I get a pointer to what we stored in the map. So in the end, this is just a pointer to the base class of this variable here, push constant. But that's then where I must be able to get my information from in order to generate a declaration. And currently it only contains that thing. That means something like push constant, element name. Well, it's not this push constant, it's a different push constant, so let's call it my push constant element name, and then between quotes. So here I do have the name of the variable, and I must be able to construct the declaration, which looks like the GLS declaration. It looks like fac3 it was, I think, element name, right? And then I also want to have a comment behind it, and a comment is just going to be that thing. Now I already have element name, and I already have the comment, but I don't have the vec3 yet. And the vec3 can be constructed from a basic type, basically. So somewhere I have basic type, and I'm just going to call that the basic type, or not. So I just call it type. Type. Yeah, let's call it type. And that then will be something like vec3. Okay, now this basic type can store currently a lot of things, even a array size. Oh no, I'm missing that. This is array stride. Oh, it's not stored here. What? Oh, it's stored here. Well, this tells us what to do. And this struct has a basic type and a string and two others. So might as well add those. Do I need to offset? I don't think I need to offset because this is specifically used to generate the vertex attribute descriptions. And well, my push constant is not a vertex attribute, but I do need maybe the array size. So let's copy that and put it here as well. Right. Now the constructor is only constructing, only initializing the DLS ID string, and well, we don't have arrays yet, so I'm just going to be really annoying and initialize this at 0 at the moment. But I definitely want to initialize my type. The symmetry demands that it looks like that, and we have to pass it. Basic type is a size of 4 bytes, so I think my value is perfectly okay. Which then immediately breaks compilation, of course, because now I changed the constructor, but we'll see where that breaks and then fix it. First, let me Now these are all overridden virtual functions from the base class. And it doesn't even have an accessor. In the end, I'll need to be able to access all this information from shared variable. So I probably need to add a new virtual function to a shared variable and then implement it. But I don't know really exactly what yet. So let's not do that. Let's see where now it breaks, because I added the basic type here, and then hopefully we can implement that. Actually, basic type is from the same namespace, right? Yeah, some names, same namespace, okay. If it included a header, that is, but we'll see. I didn't. Unknown type, basic type. So basic type is in the right namespace, but I need to include this header file. Vertex attribute, ouch. Okay, now it's used for something that is not a vertex attribute anymore. So let's give the thing its own header. Yeah, vertex attribute. So in the wrong thing here, vi vertex attribute, and I'm going to give it its own header, calling it the basic type .h, and then we move. The thing has a print on. There's another print on. There's also a print on here. There's a lot of print ons. I don't think I'm going to include basic type, obviously, here. Include a basic type. So I can just remove this stuff here as well. And move that into no, 58 lines, 59. Next, print. Let's copy this. This is a header, so hello. Okay, so I have the namespace. I need headers. As print on is properly defined somewhere, but I'm not sure where. What's it from utils? Well, it's gonna be included from debug, I think, and I have asserts as well. So we're going to need a debug.h. And lots more standard bit width. Include bit. GLS. Number of standards comes from math. GLS. Yeah, I think I have the uint32 then as well, quite obviously, I would say. And those and everything in those headers. Okay. Which then means that I can remove bit and math from here. I don't have bit here. Well, strange. I think that should compile now. I just moved it, created a new header. I don't think I have a vertex attribute.h. .cxx doesn't have anything of base type, I think. Basic type. It does, the print on, yeah. Okay, so we're going to move that as well then to, again, a new file, cxx. And p and if delete this, put that here, copy the namespace, and include sys.h. And include the header that belongs to this translation unit. And then we have everything, I guess. ToString, yeah. Yep, we have everything. And then run configure because I added a new .cxx. And let's try to make it. See if we have any early compilation errors. And then, of course, we do. Oh, that's strange. Still unknown type, basic type. Oh, yeah. That was the error, and that's why I created a new header file, basic type.h. Redefinition of basic type. Is that because I forgot to add a guard? Pragma once. There is an error here. No matching constructor. Yep, that was predicted. The push constant now has a additional argument here. I need to pass a basic type. I'm gonna just call it basic type. I don't know why I call it type before, because the basic type is sometimes an array of a basic type. But so I have to create a basic type from my. I probably have a constructor, right? Do I have a constructor? I'm not even sure. Oh, if you don't know what a Vulkan app, there's no Vulkan app. Let's well, just Google it. Vulkan. You can Google Vulkan Gronos, like you, and then you'll find a website. Or just, yeah, this website here. Time. Oh, it really doesn't want to do that, right? Stupid thing. Maybe you should go to learn tutorials. I mean, we're being technical, right? That is what Vulkan is. Basic type. What the hell? Pipeline.h. This is an aggregate type. Okay, so I can just initialize this by passing the names of these things, which I guess I will do then. Let's paste it here. There's my cursor. Standard equals standard. What's the standard here? Comma dot rows. Rows is well, rows of course. Comma dot calls equals. I hope it works. Something tells me that maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. Something was not supported. I can hardly believe that. Scalar type is, where's my scalar type? I think the scalar index. Scalar index. Why is it called type there? Well, then we have log equals, well, I only have alignment, so I need to convert that to a log. Utils log2. Comma. Now we have an m size. M size is well, probably this one, size, and dot m array stride is array stride. So I converted the template parameters, which are totally compile time, to an actual variable on the stack in this case. Let's cut it somewhere. I also need to I don't know why I will make it const. I just, you know, you see, oh, it's const. Well, that's nice, and I know that's not going to be changed later on. The next line I'll already copy it. I could move it, but well, there's nothing to move. Okay, we have it. Copied it. I think I need a header. A header of the log2. Must be utils log2. This one, utils log2. Escape 1G. Already have utils log2. Okay, well, I already have the basic type. I could have copied this, it would have been faster, but it's exactly the same as what I did. So that's looking good. Yeah. And then let's delete this, otherwise I'm never going to compile. Not that it's going to compile anyway. Unknown type name, basic type. Again. Again. We're not in shader builder now, I think. We're not. I have to add shader builder from the vid. And it compiles. How wonderful is that? Okay, so what did I do? We added a member for just for kicks. And then yeah, there's a lot of other changes that I made yesterday. Too much. Oh, I miss it. Okay, let's try to use my memory, which I don't have. What did I just change? I added it to push constant. I think that's it. Yeah. So somewhere I'll want to generate the declaration here. Or not. I'm completely lost. We only get here once, and then I have to add a complete declaration, which means that I need to have a list of all members of the push constant struct. But the only thing that I have are separate things that I stored somewhere. So we were creating a push constant. I just edited it. Where was that? Push constant something. This one. That's another one. No. Shader builder. This one. We create this thing here. For every member. And then that is stored in variables. I need to store it somewhere else as well. This is what it is. A map to the push constant. Not that useful. Not that useful. This looks more interesting. This is a map the prefix to the declaration context. Why not add it to the declaration context, I would say. You have this thing here. And then there's a public member function of the pipeline, which gives me a declaration context map. And this is also a pipeline. So let's do that first then. I don't know where I put that. Let me think. Shared variables probably. Yeah. There's one. I'm gonna do it here. Something with that function. And let's call this res1 then, and this is also res1. 2dd. This returns a reference to something. need a prefix of that thing. Do I already have that? I don't think so. What does this store? This was the push constant. Yeah, not sure. Not sure. That's a bit silly maybe to do that. Oh. Oh, I'm getting here pretty complex from data. Yeah, must have a long lifetime. So let's get it from here indeed. So that string. Should also be able to copy it from here. It's just a string view. That should work. No, yeah, no, I don't need a zero termination here. I think. Or the string always zero terminated, probably. Anyway, then I can convert that to the prefix. Yep, standard prefix, and that is then the, let me think, substring. Substring 02. Find first column. Might as well make those things once as well. Right, I think I have the prefix now, and then I get my map. So now I can look up in the map. I can look up the prefix, but it might not exist yet. Or am I wrong? This is annoying. Something. I think I do this somewhere else already with this code that I need here now. So let's look at that. What is being called? I think here. Yeah, this is difficult. I think I need this line. Oh, I don't know. No, I think that if you guys look at this and you think this guy can't code because he's just doing something, I honestly believe that is the way to code. So you should turn it around and look at this and think this is the way how a really good C++ guru codes. Which means I don't know what I'm doing and I'm waving wet fingers in the air and dead chickens. And then, well, as is every time the case, then as soon as it compiles, it works. If you don't believe me, stick around. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm doing, so that's a feeling that I have, but I think I need to construct this same thing. There is a problem though. There's definitely a problem. This function should return the declaration of a new push constant, declaration in GLSL. And I'm calling the function for every time I use in the GLSL template code a member of the push constant struct. So it's possibly called multiple times. And then the first time I call it, I mean, each of those has the same prefix. So the first time I call it, that prefix does not exist yet, which I then see from the second, and then I'm generate that's the idea, the whole declaration. And then the second time I call it, I see, oh, it already exists in that map prefix. So I already generated the declaration. So I return nothing. There's no need to add another declaration. I already generated it. Which means that whether or not I return a declaration or nothing depends completely on whether or not the context already exists. And now I'm about to create that context. Somewhere else. So I have to change this. It's probably going to exist all the time. So we never get here. So we never generate a declaration. But I'm not going to change this code. I'm just going to see that that is the case. So as soon as it compiles, it won't work. It will just not generate any declaration. Okay? In the meantime, I'm going to copy this and indeed create already this prefix in this map. In the other code, which I forgot where that was. Where did I do that? Somewhere where I don't know. I copied it. It was not push constant, probably in pipeline then. I don't know. Let's try this one. Yeah, that looks like it. Or not. I was writing code here. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, I have my prefix. Same code. Now we also have the hash. That is if I'm having a correct string here. This is the complete string, calculating the hash from... Oh, that's just this string then. So now we have the hash, and then I didn't copy the next line. How annoying. Let's open both files. Oh wait, I wanted to do the other one first. The next line was this one. And this is the pipeline, so I can just call that function. This then creates the context. Or the context was already created. That is also possible. And I think that the constructor of the declaration context that is being created here, if it didn't exist yet, if the prefix didn't exist yet, contains the header and the footer of the declaration. So whether or not it already exists is not even that important. The only thing I want is to add I don't need a map anymore. Am I completely crazy now? Yeah, I don't need a map anymore. What I need is the element that the map is pointing to. So that is this thing is this type. Is it? Why am I adding up here? Oh, right. This type, which is a map of the prefix string to a shader builder declaration context object. And I want to change that. So I'm going to need a reference of that declaration. And that is then the rest dot first, I think. And then the reference. First is an iterator to the element that we just found or inserted. And it's not const, so we can just get the reference. What is this doing? The shader variables push back. That's probably res1. I guess I just move that over here. Okay, let's call this in res2. And I don't really care about if it is inserted or not, right? Now I have my declaration, and now I want to add all the information that is needed to generate the declaration of one member of the struct. Which is and now I'm confused again because I already did that somewhere else. Probably also in the wrong place then. I'm just going to put it in a declaration context. Declaration context currently exists of a string of elements. So might as well add the whole thing here, right? Okay, so what do I want then? I can just do add element. Add element is a string. Okay, why not? So declaration, add element, and then a string. Member declaration. It is a string, which looks like two spaces, as if that matters, followed by the type plus another space plus the name of the thing plus the top slash space plus this thing. That's as a comment. The name I have is a standard string. Almost the same thing, except that now I start at we start at the colon plus 2. And that will be name. And I still have to create a type. And the type, we can generate a type. I think it's like type to name. No, it's not. Something else. Beats me. I forgot what the name of the function is. I have a function that generates the name of the type. What is it called? It's not type to name. Why not? Oops. Let me read the chat. What is vulkan? Yeah, that's that was described in the link that I posted earlier. Copy link address. Let me paste it again. Oh, what is this? That's a link to the comment. I have no idea how to do that. I'm just going to open close stop, and then we have it again. So this is vulkan. I'm going to close it again. And then the question was, what is vulkan? I can also live stream me fixing bugs on my company products. Yeah, okay. I'm not showing code of a company. This is just my own code. And vulkan is totally open source. I'm working with C# and Unity, so when first time I looked at C++ syntax, it gave me a headache. I understand. And now I forgot where I was. That's a problem with being old. I have 30 plus years C++ experience, but it also means that my memory is starting to degrade. Unfortunately. What was I doing? Well, I needed a function type to name, and I found it, I guess. It's defined in dls.h, which I'm pretty sure I have then. Yes, okay, we have it. Then we now need to return to the last function then. This one. The GL type to name. I've got what? Something, I think something, and then rows, comma calls. And the first thing was the that one. So now we get space vec3 space unused top, etc. Right? So if this compiles, then we add both members into the vector of the declaration context, which I'm not using yet, but let's try to compile it anyway. There's a non-const L value reference to shadow builder declaration context cannot bind to a value in unrelated type. Dude, it's the age of AI. Fix that for me. So first is a standard pair. Okay. I guess it's a MIP. Wait a minute. I have to remove that one then. Standard pair? Was it not a standard pair of an iterator? Well, we'll see, I guess. Apparently not. Thank you for subscribing. Vim is very, well, I'm using a new Vim. Which VI, oops, VI, which is actually calling that, which calls bin new Vim at the end. It is owned by new Vim. New Vim is the future. Don't use the old Vim. And of course, which is also a bash function. This is the only way to use which. People always seem to do that wrong. And I know what I'm talking about because I wrote it. That's me. This is the way you have to use the which. But nobody's even using it, so I don't think. I think people use type these days. You can do type, can you do type this? What was I doing? Yeah, type which. It's kind of the same thing now. I don't think that existed when I wrote which. But instead of using what I wrote, they just re-implemented. I'm sick of that. Okay. What to do? I think I did something, I forgot what, but I added it to a vector. So I have now declaration context here. No man, GNU is also open source. I don't have a job. I do full-time open source, 7 days a week. I used to do that 16 hours a day, 12 hours a day, varied a bit. All unpaid. I'm an open source guru. I signed I signed something, you know, that they have to copyright what I do. Well, of GNU and well, possible GNU what is it, projects, and not this. Let's see, this is, so I added to M elements, and at some point we called generate. Maybe someone else is calling add element, I don't know. I forgot what I did, it's really horrible. See, now it's called in two places. I think this is the one that I just added, so that adds all of them. And here's the implementation, the declaration, and here's one that is that should be removed now. Yeah, this is duplicate. Now suppose this is inserting it. In other words, the prefix did not exist yet. Impossible. It's pretty much impossible. So it must definitely be inserted already. Now if this fails, then I'm confused because this prefix should already have been inserted by what I just wrote. But where was that? I don't know. Well, somewhere where I also did this. So let's just write that and then grab the project sources for that string. Which means in push constant, because I was just here, right? Push constant declaration. No, the other way around. Pipeline add push constant member. Oh, might as well take the mother function of that, which is calling the above. So if you do not call add push constant, you have a problem. That's true. the user has to call the add push constant. So maybe I should change my comment to, well, let's do by that. So then the comment is really something like call. I think add push constant has to be called, right? Call. Something like this. Now let's check that. Add push constant. So I have from initialize of something derived from pipeline characteristic. It's not easy. So really, I meant that. This is push constant. Let's call it my push constant. Now it was initialize. In the initialize, I think, what is it? Virtual function of your yeah, I forgot it again. I have no memory left. So I just looked at it. My last, no, it must be, I don't know, here, yeah. I'll just copy everything and then I don't have to remember it. Great idea. Of your yeah, are we there yet? I don't know. I mean, if it would not type this and this ever fails, then it would take me an hour maybe to find out what is wrong. Well, if you add this and it fails in the future, it's going to take 10 seconds to fix it. So it's my advice. An assert is completely useless unless you add extensive documentation in the comments above it. Okay, and we did that. So this should always be set, already added, and then we have a reference. Well, we have a res first second, and then I can do add element, but I don't. No. Instead, I'll wait, add element. That's something else, I think. No, I just did it. Push back. Not needed. If you call generate, it's going to take the header string and then add all the elements that were added to the vector and the footer and return that. So this is not needed, and then we are done. Right, now let's hope this compiles. It compiled. So if now I run it, it's not going to run because the declaration is missing, right? Assertion rest second failed. That's not expected. Whoopsie, that is that one. I don't know what carbon is. Carbon? What is carbon? I only know C++. Why did this fail? Now, then we're going to need debug output. So I'm going to add debug DC always. And print for the start. I'm going to print everything, right? Everything. I want to know down to the last bit. I'm going to print buff to string. Maybe a bit too much, but in case there is a terminating 0, that's maybe I should not do that. I mean, if it looks okay and it still doesn't work, I'm gonna do this. But for now, I'm gonna assume that it's just a normal string. And then we also print the prefix between quotes, prefix, and let's print what the generate would generate. Well, I just created it, so it must be empty. Yeah, well, let's print it anyway. So generate is the more info, the better. They keep making new languages which are better than C++, and then they all fail. I'm not convinced. Nothing is going to replace C++. At least not in 30 years. C++ exists, God knows how long. It's used by millions of people. And then Google comes up with a new language, and 2 years later it would have replaced C++. Not in my lifetime. It's all hype, buzzwords, I don't know, who cares. Where's my debug output? The only thing you can say about C++ is that it is so difficult that only very intelligent people can really code in it correctly. That is one of the big flaws of C++. So if you hire a random C++ programmer, a professional, then they will be bad. I think at least 90% of professional C++ programmers are just really bad. They can't code. which results in bad code and lots of maintenance and bugs, and in the end that's not very good for business. So yeah, it would be better to have a language that is simpler, I guess. So you can use more programmers to produce something that is not collapsing in on itself. But if you want to write something really complex and really difficult, then you can also hire a really good C++ programmer. And then you have to pay those lots of money, of course. But then you can, I think, reach levels that are not possible with, let's say, a simpler language. I never did that. Competitive programming. I looked at it. Sometimes that's how this website. I've got a name, of course. But if you look at that, then it's about writing code that is short. I mean, it must do the job. But the main objective seems to write obscure code that is just as few characters as possible, basically, which is not the right way to code. So all the programs that you get to see on those competitive programming websites teach you coding in the wrong way. I guess not. I mean, I don't have a job, like I said, but sometimes I get an email from someone who wants me to do something, and then they say, well, that will cost you this and that money, this or that much. And then they are not interested anymore. So basically, no, but you don't know if they cannot afford me, but they're certainly not interested in the prices that I give them if they want me to do something. The only exception that I made was for someone who had didn't even really have to do something with C++. At some point I deleted my home directory, 50,000 files, and that file system was said, the developer said you cannot recover. But 2 weeks later I had recovered everything. And then I wrote an how to do that, put that on a website, which then is translated in every language in the world, and ended up on every possible website you can imagine, Russia, China, and Japan, and everywhere. And I got a lot of contacts of people who wanted me to restore their hard disk when my program failed. And one of them was a guy who had a one-man company that he put his whole life into. And he accidentally erased the hard disk with all the information, all his clients and everything, websites of his clients. And I helped that guy. It took me 2 weeks to restore his hard disk. And he paid me, I think, 4,000 euros for that. But that wasn't even really for the money. I just felt for the guy. No, I like doing what I feel like. If you do a job for someone, you have a boss, and he's going to tell you what to do and when to have finished it. I don't like that. Last time I was contacted was by someone from chess.com. He had seen some code of me about chess, and he said, well, we would like you to join our team. And apparently all those people worked from all over the world from home, so I could just work from here. And then I wrote him back an email. We're basically keeping the door open, but saying something like, yeah, I don't know how to say it, but basically it came down to that I would want to have a lot of control. So I would be the one who said, you know, we're going to do this and how we do it. And then they were not interested anymore. So I'm not a team player, I guess. But otherwise I would not have fun, you know. I'm interested to work on chess applications, but not if someone else is going to tell me what I have to do. I'm more interested in research than in just dumb coding. Okay, I'm looking at this. Someone said, good luck, sir. I'm not sure what you mean with that. Okay, let me think. This is not easy. Is it not printing anything? Here it's printing something. That's my debug output. Okay, so the GLSL ID string is push constant : aspect scale, exactly as expected. The prefix is push constant, exactly as expected. Generate is layout push constant, uniform push constant, brace open, vec3 unused. That is correct. Well, the semicolon is missing. Okay, now we are confused. So apparently there is already an element in it, which means that it was created before, which means that res second is false. Yeah, okay. The assertion is just wrong. Sometimes I'm stupid. This must be that. Exactly the other way. Plus, we are missing a new line and a semicolon where I was generating that. Which of course I have forgotten again. But again, it's this, right? So GPS, the I, one of those, push constant. No, the other one. So we have space, type name, and then semicolon, and then at the end we need a new line. It's a nice thing with booleans. If you make a mistake, there's 50% chance. And after you see the mistake, there's just one possibility left. Okay, now this is as expected and predicted. Error, some variable is not declared, and that is because we did not generate the declaration. Why not? That was some function. I think it was the function is called declaration. Probably attribute push constant here, or this must be it, right? Okay, so no. Now I'm confused. I predicted that it was not going to be called. I think that was when I still had the return on this test, and I'm not. We should have a declaration. Okay, this is confusing. Then what do we have? This is what it generated. This is our declaration. So you have a layout push constant, uniform push constant, brace open, vec unused, yay, semicolon, comment, new line, float aspect scale, also semicolon, aspect scale, and then this thing. Looks pretty much declared to me. But here it's using something else. Here. It's using the wrong variable. Wow, why? Why? Okay, so the error is that it says this variable does not exist. That's correct. It should have been this variable. Oh, I understand. Yeah. Nah, that is funny. Okay, this is a v followed by a hash value. And the hash value used here is the hash value calculated from the full as a GLSL ID string of that thing. So this is the hash of this string. Well, this one is the hash of that string. Oops. So what I need is, I could calculate the hash of just a prefix. That would work. Or I can get the variable, I can store the hash in the context, declaration context itself, and then just grab that here. That would also work. What shall I do? I think I'm going to do the last thing, although, yeah, I'm going to do the last thing. I don't know why. It's a bit of random then, right? Just the hash of the first one. Why the first one? Why not just this? Even better would be to have a complete random thing, not even depending on that or that, but just on the, yeah, just random. That, do you know you can output array elements like this? Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Well, now this code definitely would become simpler if I simply use the prefix. So let's do that. Let's do that. The hash of the prefix. The alternative would be that I use a hash of a pointer. I could use the pointer to the declaration itself. But no, because I'm constructing that right here as a function of the prefix, so that's not possible. Sorry, as a function of the hash. So I need the hash first, and then I create the object. I could change it afterwards, but obviously the simplest thing is just calculate the hash of the prefix string. And this is for push constants, so let's add the other one. I have two of them, one here, this is a name, this is just simply a name. Okay, name, can put a prefix there then. And am I even calling that? Because I'm also doing it here. Yep. Okay, well, anyway, this one is simple then. I'll also have the prefix here. And I want to know where the hell I'm calling name. So I'm renaming name to name2. Also in the declaration. Oh yeah, okay, that's going to be called. It's a implementation of the verbal function. It's the replacement string. Yeah, okay, yeah, yep. So I have to keep that. Yeah, of course, yeah, dot member name. Okay, then I have to calculate the prefix again. So I have a member name here. We did that before. Man, I have this everywhere. Prefix again. Well, this is with This is yeah. I make a string here, and then use a substring. But here I'm using the character constant directly. So I guess we won't do that. I'm just gonna copy. So I need a member name, the second one. So I'm just gonna copy this. And then we have a prefix that I can calculate the hash from. I don't know. Maybe we should cache it. Starting to have the feeling that I'm doing this a lot of times. It doesn't really matter though. This code is not critical in speed. But it's kind of a code duplication, and I don't like code duplication. I could turn it into a function that would work. Because yeah, in both cases it's coming from a member. Let's see, do I even have it more often? Like, I think so. Just replace this with prefix, so you have to calculate prefix. So this string now happens 3 times, I think. Okay, project sources. 3 times, and then this one is. Yeah, this one is calculated before I make it. And then I store the prefix. Store the prefix? Could you be fucking kidding me? But this is the, oh wait, yeah, this is the declaration context. So I have a push constant here. Okay. Then I do need a prefix. Okay. Let's replace all of this. So let's say I do not have this, because I'm gonna delete it. And then I do not have this, and then I do not have this. But do I need it? Well, I need name. Name I need here, and I need just once, and I need prefix. We need prefix for the hash and here. Right, so these two can become member functions of push constant. Did I do that right? This returns a string by value from a character const pointer, which that's not correct. No, I can do that here though. Or not. And all that just to get rid of code duplication. Okay, I'm gonna be silly and use okay, I think we have it. Name and prefix. Could move the hash to that as well. Did I just add a name twice? No, don't tell me. Tell me I didn't. I did. So this thing needs to have a different name. Yeah. Or not. I don't know. I'm so confused. No, name is what it is. But this thing returns. Let's call it member name. It's a bit fake, isn't it? Yep, member name. Okay, so exactly member name. That's what I meant. Member name, prefix, and who needs this? And then we have here prefix and prefix and prefix. So I don't need that anymore. A good thing we didn't upload it to a satellite and launch that. Use of undeclared identifier. No idea what it's talking about. I have no idea what it is talking about. Let's use that then. SV. Still. Invalid operand, so binary expression. Basic string, blah 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 blah, and string view. Really? That is the silliest thing I ever seen. That is like bullshit. Oh, data. Okay. Have it your way. See if this still fits. It totally fits on my monitor. Yeah, I had to yawn. Couldn't help it. And there we have it. It compiles after hours of work, and we run it, and we get validation errors. And ignoring the validation errors, it simply works. Okay, well, what's going on? The program works, but we have loads of validation errors. Why? Okay, error in VK command push constants. VK shader states vertex bit VK push constant range in M pipeline layout index 2. Overlapping offset 0. and size 16 do not contain VK shader stage vertex bit. Hubblepub states for each byte in the range specified by offset and size for each shader stage in stage flags, there must be a push constant range in layout that includes that byte and that stage. Okay, nobody understands this, me included. Although I do have a feeling that I know what is causing it. But the text itself could be Chinese, and I don't know Chinese, so... let me try to read it again, maybe backwards. For each byte in the range specified by offset in size. Which offset in size? Especially which offset? For each shader stage in stage flags, there must be a push constant range in layout that includes that byte and stage. Okay, so apparently we have a layout related to push constant. I didn't know that. Oh, we do, yeah. No, that's a pipeline layout. The only objects it's referring to is the command buffer and the pipeline layout. Maybe the pipeline layout talks about the push constant layout. I wouldn't know. But we are going to look for it, I guess. We're going to look for it. How would that be called? Let's write all this log file stuff to file. That's long enough, I think. Not that. Yeah, true. Validation error. Yep, it exists. Guys, I have to take a break, a bathroom break. I'll be back in a few minutes. back. I'm back. I'm really back. Right. Okay, so my feeling is that the pipeline creates info-ish during pipeline creation. We pass a pipeline layout, and that then might include the layout of the push constants, which then does not match the actual push constant that I'm using. So I have to try and find that back. Okay, now I could follow this URL, which might point us to loading this takes forever. Bad Chromium. The browser is using a single CPU to do this page. Why? Why not use all of them and be faster? Plus, it has no clue anymore how to jump to this thing here. Let's try to help it. Oh, why didn't you say that? So, oh yeah, that's really much more information. No, actually it is. Layout must be consistent with all shader specified P stages. Now we have two links. Layout. This is about pipeline create info. Yeah, I don't know. Layout cannot be clicked on. And P stage is also not interesting. So I'm gonna scroll to something with P stages. There we are. P stages is here, and that is a pipeline shader stage create info. Okay. Well, I don't know how often that happens, but how about I'm just going to search for that. P stages top column. Directly in front of my validation error. What about the first time it happens? Set wrap. We have a P stage here, flag, stage, vertex, module, name, specialization, info, flags, fragment, etc. That's not really saying that much. Create graphics pipeline. Input states. Binding descriptor. No, and the P stages is just two stages. It's just the vertex stage and the fragment stage. And it's not talking about anything related to push constants at all here. So I don't know. But I think this is the P stage it's talking about. But okay, let's jump to the next one. And that is when we get the validation error. Push constant buffer, member 0, index 3, offset 0. In VK shader stage vertex bit is out of range in M pipeline layout. Layout must be consistent with all shader specified P stages. I do not understand this. Was that what I just looked for? Or I don't know. Yeah. All resource variables statically used in all shaders, and a pipeline must be declared with a set binding array element that exists in a corresponding descriptor set layout and is of appropriate descriptor type and includes a set of shader stages it is used by in stage flags. Pipeline layout can include entries that are not used by a particular pipeline or are dead code eliminated from any of the shaders. The pipeline allows the application to provide a consistent set of bindings across multiple pipeline compiles, which enables those pipelines to be compiled in a way that the implementation may cheaply switch pipelines without reprogramming the bindings. I think I vaguely understand it. But is this related to push constants at all? I don't see how, really. There's a push constant. Once created, pipeline layouts are used as part of a pipeline creation, as part of binding descriptor sets, see descriptor set binding, and as part of setting push constants. See push constant updates. Pipeline creation accepts a pipeline layout. Pipeline creation accepts a pipeline layout as input, and the layout may be used to map tuples to implementation resources or memory locations within a descriptor set. The assignment of implementation resources depends only on the bindings defined in the descriptor sets that comprise the pipeline layout, and not any shader source. I think I'm always using an offset of 0 actually, but I could not do that. Nevertheless, still don't understand what it is complaining about. As described above in section pipeline layouts, the pipeline layout defines shader push constants. which are updated via vulkan commands rather than via writes of memory or copy commands. Okay, here it says pipeline layout define shader push constants. I'm not seeing it, but it says that it was described in pipeline layouts. Access to descriptor sets from a pipeline is accomplished through pipeline layouts. 0 or more descriptor set layouts and 0 or more push constant ranges are combined to form a pipeline layout object describing the complete set of resources that can be accessed by a pipeline. The pipeline layout represents a sequence of descriptor sets with each having a layout, specific layout. This sequence of layouts is used to determine the interface between shader stations and shader resources. Each pipeline is created using a pipeline layout. So yeah, 0 or more descriptor sets layout and 0 or more push can. Okay, hello. There we go. So that then should be described in this thing here, pipeline layout create info. There we are, push constant ranges. Finally we found it. Let's go back to the log file. No push constant range. What? How? Maybe I'm not printing the create info. Pipeline create info. Okay, let's leave this file. I said let's leave this file. Search that, and we have in a single place a VK pipeline create info, which sets the push constant ranges to push constant ranges data, which is what we pass to this function as second argument. Do we have create pipeline layouts? Holy many lines, what is this? Nobody knows. Let's do that again. There we are, push constant ranges. Size is 4. That's a problem. That should be size of push constants. Push constants. I think it works. That is, we don't have validation errors anymore. Program still works. No validation errors. Okay, so that was it. And then everything works. Let's see. I think it's time to do a commit. Good. Diff. Yeah, let's have a look at the git diff. Okay. That was just testing. That is then required because the thing got larger. It should be generated. It is now generated. This is generated. This can be gone. That is required now. This was deleted. That is deleted. That is deleted. What a cleanup. Don't you love to clean up? Lots of cleanup. This was moved. So it wasn't really deleted. It was just moved. This is, I guess, code duplication reduction. So because it occurred here and there and there, so I just made a function of it. More cleanup. This is slightly dubious. Why would I do this? Might as well do it just here. But, well, I don't know. I could add a comment maybe that I think that it is dubious, because maybe I might forget, you know, and then later think, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. Can I add a comment? In 2 places. That's what I mean. 2 places. Bad things happen when you do duplicated code. Okay, I'm gonna do here. First, add all vertex attribute declarations if this is the vertex shell. Yeah, okay. Now, my dubious comment is that this is not necessary, because yeah, now I have to skip them here. I mean, what are we doing? Why would that yeah, okay. Let's say this is not really necessary, because we could treat the vertex attribute declarations the same as uniform. So yeah, at least now it says that not necessary to do this, but we do it anyway, right? And then here, of course, we have to skip it. Make sure to skip vertex attribute declarations that were already added above. Then this reserve is a bit vague, very vague, I might say. It's going to grow anyway, of course, but I want to be pretty close, and I have no idea anymore how close I am, so let's have a look. Again, at this value now. So that would be string length of the version header plus the source code length plus the declaration size. That sounds very correct because the source code buffer is subsequently the version header plus the declarations, and then plus the source code, but with the ID strings replaced with the names of those things. Well, they tend to be a little bit longer, if you ask me. Maybe I should reserve a little bit more. That's what I mean. It's not that simple. Let me think what to do here. The declaration size is pretty exact because that's just declarations and we're just adding it. So the only dubious part is every time I find a match string, I'm going to add something. Maybe I can just do Let's add a well, it could be negative. Let's call it a an int. An int is good enough. An int is always good enough. And then name is ID to name growth. Yeah. So that's your. And then when you find a match string, and I mean find it, which means we find it. Here's the find, so it's not in pos. So we get here. That would be right there. I can do ID to name growth minus the length of the match string. But then later I'm going to add a replacement. That's here, I think. Using. I expect a call to something called name. Yeah, there it is, name. Might as well do. I think this is going to be positive, so what I do is the length of this thing. The declaration comes before the source, so why would I use this order? Plus that. Well, it's a bit too precise, I would say, but okay, why not? In fact, it's so precise that you would expect that afterwards the source code buffer size or length simply equals my estimate. I want to test that. That is correct. And it is because it did not fire. So that was super precise, right? It's hardly an estimate anymore then. Estimate. Where's the estimate? Yeah, it's not really an estimate, right? But okay, it's not an estimate. Let's call it the final source code size. Now the malloc size returns. What was it? Given a minimum number of required bytes, this function returns a possibly larger size such that the used heap size will be just that. 32, 64, etc. or a multiple of 4096 bytes. Now suppose that the final source size is exactly 128 bytes. Then malloc size is going to return 128. And then I subtract 1. What? Why? Why am I subtracting 1? I must have had a reason. I believe in myself, in my past self. But what was it? Is it because reserve adds 1 for a possible terminating 0 or something? I guess it does. So, I suppose the minus 1 is necessary because otherwise it's, you know, I want to pass this exactly as is to malloc. And reserve is adding 1 for terminating 0, which means that it doesn't work. So I have to subtract 1. But on the other hand, I want to reserve at least final source code size because it's a little bit too precise now. So I just add 1, then get the malloc size, and then subtract 1. And then reserve adds 1 again. And then, yeah, I hope anyway. So the plus 1 here doesn't harm much. This should work. Just works. Okay, so well, then we can go back to the diff. Include stuff and confusing stuff. Yeah, I wanted to put those things in a slightly better order because it's really a mess at the moment. It's really a mess. This is a mess, man. Yeah, all those things. So which one would be first, you think? Vertex shader input sets. My the window manager stopped updating OBS. As usual. Someone has to fix that. Because it's already like a year or two like this. Linux is slowly getting worse. I don't know why, but it definitely is. And vertex shader input sets. Vertex attributes. It's going to be a lot of work, if you ask me, if I want to find out which one is created first, updated first. A lot of work. Well, at least they are private. But yeah, so maybe I should first do a commit and then start making changes to find out what the right order is. I want to go to there. And then we go down again. Called by register vertex attribute entry. This yeah, I have music in the background, but it is horrible. Is there really no music anymore without vocals? Oh, and now starting it again. Let's try that one. Yeah, what is this? Private register vertex attribute standard is where gives you once what? Called by? Okay. Well, I don't think so. What a nonsense. I don't know what it's talking about. I can just delete it, but I have the feeling that this function doesn't even exist anymore. GPS. Apparently it still exists, but only in something that... It's probably commented out then. It is commented out. So yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. So this whole comment is wrong. Attention, roll what the comments. Gone with the comments. But then you have to ask yourself, why is here an add push constant member all by itself? That is kind of weird as well. So let's find out where that is called from. DPS. It is called from here, which is at a push constant. So we're going back here, then we see that at push constant is declared, yeah, down here, I think. Yeah, here. It is public. And here we have add vertex input binding, which is probably calling those. Add vertex attributes. We jump to this one, we find that it calls add vertex attribute. So doesn't it make a lot more sense to move this to here? Yeah. And this one, get vertex attribute layout. Really? Really? I have a bad memory, but this rings alarm bells, I must say. No, we don't. That's in a comment. Nobody knows where I am. Does not exist. Yep. Okay, where was I? Where was I? As in, my diffs were gone. Why? Diff. Okay, give up. Pipeline dot h. No. Deploy. Really? Pipeline dot h. There it is. It is associated with. Okay, that's nice, but I'm not gonna understand it. If I ever look at it again. Code application. This is for the array, right? I do not know what to do about that. I guess I could make it. I could make it a more general template argument and then split it up afterwards. Although, no, I don't know. Can't say I'm super happy with it. And no, there's the whole indentation stuff. Really, no. Let's change it a little bit. So I'm going to remove the indentation here. Yep, I'm still coding. Like every day. So we remove the indentation here and then add it to add elements. Then have a generate somewhere. We do not have a generate. I don't know why. GPS generates. Blind factory. Declaration context. So I can just do add indentation plus element, assuming element is a string. Of course it is a string, yeah. Looks a little bit better, just a little bit better. And then add push constant. Now I've recorded and I still have the GC always somewhere. Well, probably definitely somewhere, but okay. Yeah, these things here are a bit weird also. What the hell is that doing? It says 30 characters. Well, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. The 30 is very, very random. Do I really have to count this again? I mean, this is 18. Yep. 18 plus 5 is 23, 24. Plus 4 is 28. Plus 5 is 33. Yeah. So if I forget this, then I have 33 characters plus the length of mg string. And I don't know what that is. And even the array size could in theory be larger than 3, although unlikely. But it's not even set in stone. And this is being returned by a declaration called on the text attribute. And who cares how long that is? Nobody cares. Pretty sure nobody cares. Yeah, that's the whole point. I couldn't delete it. And then I was here, and it's deleted, include math, basic type was moved, and it's removed. It's now a virtual function, and it already was, but it is put in the CXX file. And I have another one that's deleted, so yeah, we should just commit this. I still want to add support maybe for arrays, push constant arrays. I can't help myself. Before I do a git commit, I have to add this. Really bad. Okay, but I do. So test adding array. Actually, the I push constant.h. Let's turn this into an array of 3, and this also. So there is, however, a demand here that asserts static assert. As if I remember that. Static assert offset off. When am I going to fix my mouse? Today? Looks like it. Okay, then we have it. Insert. Yep. What else do I need to change if I add something there? Hopefully nothing. Theoretically nothing. That's the whole point, right? What I'm doing. Just change one place and everything is automatically fixed, adjusted, calculated, and generating compile errors. Missing terminating quote. Well, that's probably just a typo. Yeah, totally missing there. Okay. One, two, three, four. Oh, we have another compile error. We have the compile error that static assert failed. Whoa, due to requirements. That's interesting. That is interesting. That is interesting like hell. So if I comment that out, then the program should not work. Now what? No matching member function for call to add push constant member. Oh right, yeah. I was adding a support for array layout here. We're talking about add push constant member and then array layout support. Declaration. Declaration. Array layout. And that means that I have to add elements here. I think so, something like that. And therefore also here size type elements. And shall I do that again, or shall I just copy it? What do you think? I'm gonna do it again. We can just switch to the CXX file, and then what? Oh, it is a template. Yeah, being silly, of course. There. Then I have to duplicate this thing. Oh my god, code duplication. Again. Paste. And then we do it again. Meaning we have here shader builder array layout, comma elements, and comma size type elements. Yeah, that was it, right? Totally. And then we have to change the body. I think I just have to change this basic type here, right? Something with elements. As in here, after the offset we need array size is elements. Pretty much is it, I think. I don't have an offset. Now what? Okay, we have an array stride. And there is no offset here. Hell, there isn't even an... There's nothing after that. Nope, it's something that has to be added to push constant, I think. Push constant is not that one. Push constant has an array size, yay, which I by default set to 0 there. So let's just not set it to 0 by default, but add an array size. It's pretty much 0 by default, but not always. Array size, so like that. And then I'm going to add that here. Elements. Well, that's hardly support because I'm not using array size yet. So more is needed. More is needed. Now I have a push constant that is changed. It suddenly has a array size. Prefix is still prefix, obviously. Member name also. Declaration changed. And name changed. I think both, yeah. Let's start with name. Name. Name did not change. No, name did not change. Just declaration changed. Actually, also didn't change. Generate changed. Generate called on something that has to do with push constants. Declaration context. I guess. And also that did not change. So what changed is where I'm pushing to, okay, add element. So something is calling add element. And then not here, add element. Add element. There we are. Member declaration. What a loss of time. Okay, so we're adding here a something and then something else. And then we add something that closes it. And elements here. Which then makes me wonder why I'm adding it to push constant at all. Because after that we're done. Pretty much. Who's using whatever is in push constant? Nothing. Nobody's using that. We're just building declaration here. Oh boy. Well, if anyone is using it at all, anywhere, I'm calling a push constant prefix here, but well, ignore that for the moment. and then it's going to be used from here somewhere. Yep, nobody using it. Well, that's pretty sad. Kind of makes sense, because this thing looks up member ID string to the push constant. Bullshit. Who needs that? So yeah, let's remove it. Let me turn on the light so I can actually see my keyboard. As if I look at my keyboard, correct? You never know. Yeah. More stuff that we can delete. The only problem is that I added 2 member functions to it in order to reduce code duplication. So I'll have to fix that as well. But it is how it is, I'm afraid. Okay, this feels scary. I'm just gonna commit it. Does it still compile? It does not compile. What do you mean still? It didn't compile before. Because the array was not supported. What? Binary expression, basic string, and size type. Yeah. If you say so. Standard to string. Okay, now I removed the static assert, so this should not run. And it doesn't. It stays black, so I'm happy with that actually. Okay, let's fix that, as in, let's fix that first maybe. I don't know how, but push constant. There it is. So we want this to work. I think I can make it work by making this a vec4. I mean, just not used anyway. And that worked because the static assert did not fire. That means now it should work. And it does. Okay, that's great. Then, what did I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to remove stuff. I want to remove stuff. This stuff, I think. Let's see, so I can search. No, not that stuff. This stuff. I wanted to commit first. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's do a git commit. Let's do a git status. Git add. There's a lot of files. Basic type. Declaration context. Push constant. The rest is nothing. And I should also really look at those files because they did not show up in the diff. Does it look sane? That is the question. Does this look sane? Sane enough. Aha. Haha. Missing this if in what I just added. Another stupidity. Was that in one of these files then? Apparently not. No. Right. Oh. Let's add them again. So then somewhere I added a file where I have that in it and I don't know where or what it is. Grab sources. Well, it did contain, I think, something like this. Oh, that's a bit too much. Followed by a semicolon. That's not true. Really? Maybe an X. Still not. No, I don't know. Okay, then another trick. No, it was a toString. I added a toString of elements. Definitely this must occur somewhere. There it is. And here we have our quote. That's what I just searched for and didn't show up. Why? So strange. Pipeline.h to 90. Okay, that's annoying. Totally annoying. No, but that's a standard string, whatever. I can create a string from a string view, right? It's allowed. That was sarcastic. I don't know. I think I prefer that slightly. And then I prefer even stronger this. That's my comment and a semicolon, and we do this when we have elements. We have actually elements. Okay, so if elements is larger than 0, hooray, that's a const expression. Const expression. How fun is that? Okay, and then yeah, we also need that, of course. Once. Now it looks better. Yep, that worked. And let's test without an array. So now I simply remove this. Then everything still works. How amazing is that? I think that's pretty cool. Oh, it doesn't. The reason is that this must be vec3 now. Yeah, that's, now you're laughing, but it's going to be fixed. I didn't implement that structure yet to be automatic. Right, so everything works. Git status. Nothing new here. This is a README file. And we have stuff here. And I can just commit everything, right? Yeah. So let's go to the root. Git commit. I don't know why, but I'm going to say this again. I'm paranoid, or I just don't know what I'm doing, I think. Git commit -a Yeah, it's still whip. Whip, and then what did we do? And it's time for a long break again. Till bedtime. Very long. Definitely